Here we Hey, Savage.
Bobby, the talking bottle. Anyways,
I'm drinking the pineapple juice. So you ladies, you know what that means if I'm drinking pineapple juice.
Yeah.
Put
it in your mouth.
Wow. We are starting off crazy on
Let's
Friday.
go, y'all. Well, the show is called Friday. The show is called Savage AF, so I don't know why you would expect sanity. I'm Black Pedro.
Yo, Shang, and I want to say something to y'all. Thank y'all for following us on and subscribing. But the bottom line is, you got to know this first. We're on now. Times may change, but we're on Mondays and Fridays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Tuesday through Thursday for now, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And make sure that you do the things that you need to do to stay updated with this show, because this show is a fucking great show. That guy, there's this guy, Pedro. He does a great job on this fucking show. Okay? I just want to say something. I want to say something. This guy, he does a great job on the show. And I just want to say something to you all. Okay? The big thing. I don't really talk like that, but if I did, I bet you I would have never, ever been laid in my life if I was like, so what's up? You want to go out? I go out. You go out. Yeah.
You'd still be a virgin for sure. All right, man. So Savage AF, like Shang said, we're here for you Monday through Friday. If you ever miss us live on YouTube or Facebook, wow, you should slam your own foot in the door. Just punish yourself if you miss us live.
If you don't follow us, what is your life about?
But if you do miss us live, if you do miss us live though, redemption is found in the form of our YouTube channel. The URL is scrolling at the bottom, youtube.com/c/SavageAFWorld, all one word. If you missed us live, you can catch us archived on that channel.
And you know what? But there's one little thing you must do while you do it. And then when you do it, you'll feel better about yourself. One, your farts will smell like cologne. Two, if you do it, guess what? Everybody that hated you in the past will love you today. And three, if you do this, you'll never fall down some steps face first.
There you go.
Yeah.
So do this.
Yeah. So and the other thing that'll prevent you from getting stabbed through the chest with a flagpole is if you give us this. Thumbs up. Give us the thumbs up. All right. That's how shows do. So anybody that watches the show regularly, happy Friday, everybody. Anybody watching the show regularly, you know that's just how when you do a podcast on YouTube or whatever, you got to do that. That's just part of it. So don't get on my ass, because that's what we got to do. And the other thing we got to do is let people know there's a specific app that you need to follow us on. There's this. I don't want to. You know what? I'll let you tell them what it is, and then let them find out themselves.
Folks, if you care about comedians at all, especially myself and Shang, just know that comedians are dying daily, their careers, that is, due to lack of followership on Instagram, y'all. Make sure you hit us up on the gram. It is the essence of life for any entertainer, artist, or chick with a big booty. At Black Pedro, at Comedian Shang on the Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, slam your other foot in the door and let's keep it moving.
Right. And there's another thing I want to let y'all know something too. Also, sorry for missing yesterday. I was doing a little industry bullshit, hanging out with some people.
Shang was hanging with the stars.
With the stars, in the cars. Then we went to bars.
Nigga, with the stars, nigga.
Then we went to bars. You know what? That was all I got. That's all I got. I was thinking we went far.
In a car?
In a car. Yeah.
With the stars.
With the stars. And then you got to think of something else. And then
and niggas had beef, so they almost started wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end of the night, they got some horse. You know what I'm saying?
And then they got stars.
Stars, horse.
Okay.
Horse.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up, everybody on the feed? And also gonna let you know something else. When you go and like and subscribe, again, I told you, you go and like and subscribe, an angel gets his wings.
Yes. Oh, what a sweet sentiment.
Man,
Savage AF, y'all. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. Speaking of angels getting their wings, let's get into this show. Shane's about to renew his car warranty.
No, that was the publicist that's hitting me.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, man. So it is Friday, like we said, June 10th, 2022. It's still Gemini season. Let's get it in, y'all. I'm Black Pedro, comedian Shane. Fuck your feelings, facts matter. We're going to end today's show with the SHANGRY. And we talked about it a bit, so I'll chime in at the end because I did a little,
you got to.
I did a little dro solo, but SHANGRY today, January 6th. What the fuck else do you need to see, bitches? Oh, God damn it!
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I forgot to put the banners in, but that will get done. I'll just refer to my notes. I'll refer to my notes here.
No, but put the banners in because then
I will. I will.
No, I swear I was doing something else too. Phenom Brown is in the building. Greetings, brothers. Like I'm gonna read it like it sounds. Like I feel like Phenom sounds like this if she was a man and did a radio station in the '60s. Greeting, brothers. What about falling down the stairs, Shang? Anyway, quick question. When we watch the archive replays, does it count as your views or does it have to be live? No, it counts as our views. It counts as our views. It counts as the thumbs up and the likes. All count to the algorithm going to our page. The more likes and views, the more the algorithm raises. I'm sorry I had to hit you with all these technical terms. For all you dumb niggas
behind the
scenes.
And
so the bottom line is the more likes and the more traffic you get to the page, even if it's just one video, the algorithm on the videos goes up. So just know that. And
all these fucking algorithms fucking up our lives, man.
But what's up, Phenom?
So before that SHANGRY did before January 6th, what the fuck else do you need to see, bitches? Got a Black Pedro pop in today. Show them the money. Show them the money. Let's talk about it. But before we get into that, it wasn't me. I just on the counter. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Joseph Robinette Biden, your president of your United States, did his best.
Whoa. He's our president, okay?
All right, I'll accept
now, he's befuddled. He's definitely Muppetish. He's baffled. But goddamn it, he's better than the
but he's not
we had.
But he's not for the malarkey.
Exactly. And he's not an insurrectionist cunt fuckface like the person we had before.
Joseph Robinette Biden today did his best Shaggy impersonation. We'll talk about it. But before we get into that,
I disagree with you on that. So
before we get into that, again, it is June 10th, 2022, the year of your Lord. It's a Friday, guys. We're going to start off with the most critical question that we do ask on the show. It tends to get to the bottom of every situation.
It gets to the bottom of everything in life.
When you see things that don't make sense, we need you to ask yourself this.
Motherfucker say what? Yeah. Motherfucker say what? Say yeah.
Oh!
So amidst much criticism, for their reaction or lack thereof, the school police chief,
no, come on,
Pedro Pete Arredondo.
No, I need you to say it right. You keep saying the police. The pussies.
The holies.
Yeah, come on, man. That's your fucking job to run
I'm trying to stick to the facts for the moment, just to lay it out, and then we'll get into the name calling. But
so you're referencing it.
Yeah. Start off with the official title, then we call them dung buckets.
All right.
So
I can live with that.
Okay, here we go. So school police chief, Uvalde, Texas school police chief. I'm ashamed to share a name with this man, but his name Pedro. He goes by Pete, so that's already suspect. Pete Arredondo said in an interview, his only real interview that he's given since, that he didn't believe he was in charge the day of and on site.
What?
No, not just what, but
Motherfucker say what?
so yeah, that one make your head spin right there, bro.
What?
Yeah, he didn't believe he was in charge. He thought some other chief
Worse
was
in
in charge.
charge.
Like
He
when
thought-
you like literally when your chief is in your job title, you in charge, nigga. I don't care if you chief of trash, nigga. When the garbage piles up, we looking at your ass, right? Like, so there was that part. He also didn't carry either of his radios with him. He left them in the car, as he said, on purpose, because he didn't want them to slow him down. Now, if you put up another picture of this water buffalo, I don't think 2 radios are gonna be what slows you down. All right, man. Like, all right. So he's got a bowling ball.
So
He's got a bowling ball for a head, but he's worried about 2 radios slowing him down. Like, come on, man. Come on. Nobody doing this. So left it. So he's not in communication.
Hey, fuck you, Pedro. I'm Pedro.
Therefore, last Pedro standing. Well, we already know I got more heart than this motherfucker, but more heart, nigga, from the start. You better go kart, nigga.
Wow, go kart. Yeah, all right, that was good.
Yeah, man. So he left his radios behind, therefore is unaware of any fucking thing. Has no idea 911 calls are being made by children inside the classroom.
Hey, let me tell you something else he left behind. He's fucking balls.
It's ball sack.
What do you mean you fucking left your fucking thing? You knew they was fucking shooting. You sit out there for 30 minutes. You watch a fucking episode of The Boys on fucking Amazon. That's at least 45 minutes. And then you come in the fucking thing with the thing. That's bullshit. And he didn't know. I didn't know. I swear to God. I didn't know.
Another key part of the motherfucker say what type bullshit that we came out of his this interview is that he also said he did not give any instructions to not go in the room, right? So he's saying he didn't tell anybody to not go in the room, but also didn't believe it was in charge. So he's like, I didn't tell anybody to not go in, but if you don't think you're in charge, that means you also didn't tell anybody to go in.
Okay, you know what? Let me say something pertaining to this to everybody in here. All of these pussy ass cops they would have rushed in if it was a nigga in there eating pistachios. Okay,
amongst 3 white girls.
Yes,
please.
Come on, they would have absolutely did that. He's acting like he don't know what the fuck is going on because he needs any way to get out of the pussyfied shit that happened. And the other cops that did that too, number one, I think they all should be fired for dereliction of duty, because that's the word I want to use today. Dereliction of duty, flat out, unequivocally. And secondly, they have rushed into other situations pertaining to anybody else, but for some reason, there were a lot of Latino cops, so I'm not saying it's a race thing. But I don't know if they saw seems mighty white of them. Wow. I just feel like if the moms can go in there, because the moms were like, yo, fuck that. They tear gassed one of the moms, or they tear gassed her and handcuffed her. This bitch broke the handcuffs. This hulkified hoe broke the handcuffs, ran in there to get her kids. There was other people that said, I'm getting my fucking kids. And the police couldn't do it, that were armed. But the nigga did have the dude that was in the cop that had the gun, that was a killer, the mass shooter. He did have bullets that pierce walls. He has special bullets. There's bullets that they have now that can go through a car engine. And I don't know how the fuck he got that. Why are we selling that to 18-year-olds?
Yeah. So Bronda is unpredictable. She's making a distinction here that Arredondo was not the city police chief, got his roles crossed. And I did make that distinction earlier, Bronda. That he is the Uvalde school police chief. But here's the thing, right? Like, so there is a city police chief. Federal agents were eventually on site. So obviously communication about who is in charge needs to be had. But
Right.
if a man doesn't have his 2 radios with him, I don't know how he's communicating with anybody. And secondly, if there is a school shooting and you are the school superintendent, the school police chief, you better act like you're in fucking charge until somebody tells you otherwise.
See,
right? Like you
Pedro.
assume command, motherfucker.
Pedro,
you don't assume that
you don't have to have your
must
radio with you. You don't have to have your radio. Everybody knows you just
this nigga out there using bird calls.
Hootie hoo!
Hootie hoo!
They shooting. Like, what the fuck is he doing? But the bottom line is you can't give him all the blame. I want to say this. I want to say, first off, Thick Neck McGee deserves, he deserves some blame, but he doesn't deserve all the blame. There was multiple police out there. They were armed. They did lollygag, and I don't use that word lollygag, Pedro. Just know that. And y'all can mark this from this day on. Probably won't use it.
The day of lollygag has begun.
Lollygag and then done, but they did. They hesitated, and some of them said, "Well, I don't want to get shot." Well, motherfucker, that's your job. You had body armor. The kids didn't have body armor, and the fact that they had the only way they could identify the kids was with DNA or torn fucking shirts and shit. And they were like, "Oh, my kid wore that shirt." Well, my kid used to wear that shirt. So no, the police. The police didn't have kids in there. No, I'm talking about Miss Amber. The moms, there was moms that tried to run in there.
No, but she's saying that's why they didn't run up in there like that because none of their fucking kids were in there.
But not knowing.
And Miss Adverb also says children were decapitated. Some were left eviscerated by these bullets.
No, I know.
So yeah, and they were showing what an AR-15 round actually does. Like a 223 or 5.56 ammunition, like it's hitting the body with such velocity that it creates an explosion within the body, like this exploding cavity that occurs just due to the sheer force. So it's not even always the size of the bullet, right? But like it's the velocity
of the gun,
and the gun pushes it out.
And that's why I don't want to hear shit from anybody else. And I gotta say again, Matthew McConaughey had one of the best. I know it's because he's an actor and he's used to speaking, but the way he spoke on it at the White House, I thought was fantastic. And he was like, and I thought he was gonna go, all right. That wouldn't have been appropriate though. But I just think that he basically broke it down on these guns are absolute. Like these guns are fucking war guns, period, the end. These guns aren't for hunting possum. Now, unless you got possums that got body armor possums. But aside from that, there's no reason to have it. The people in the fucking, there's a thing that's going viral right now, Pedro, on TikTok. It was a fucking police, I forget but he's in the Army or Navy. He's high up dude, said, they even make us lock up our guns. But
that's a Marine. Yeah, they talk about
the Marine. He said they make us do the shit, and you don't tell an 18 years old, and I'm gonna use another word I don't usually use. People willy nilly. You let a kid walk around. I don't listen to a lot of Biden. Willy nilly. you let a kid walk around willy nilly with a fucking gun that actually shoots armor piercing bullets, which I think that. AJ Fitz said it's called a penetrator. Well, of course, that's what the fuck it's called. The penetrator armor piercing bullets. And you sold them to him. You fucks. If Pedro asked me for armor piercing bullets, and that's my nigga, I would be like, hey, man, the fuck you need?
Where you going?
What's
what you doing later? Yeah,
hey, man, what you doing later? Yeah, I was thinking about it after I get off work. What? What do you need that for? That means you're going into battle.
No. Anybody who needs an AR-15 today, it's like, right now, I need an AR-15 and 500 bullets. Somebody should be like, so what you doing later?
Yeah, so what are you up to?
Yeah. You should Netflix and chill tonight, bro.
Yeah, maybe you should just call your mother. I already killed her. You know? Whoa. Like once
That's what last week's gun was for. What the fuck, man?
We need some kind of common sense gun laws, but the bottom line is the NRA, even though they tried to pass one, the NRA flat out is so fucking strong, Pedro, that they could, like, if you was trying to get some pussy and the NRA gap between you and the pussy, it'd be real difficult to get the pussy. That's how that they are the biggest cock blockers, and they give more of a fuck about the sale of guns than they do children. And that is it. And if anybody says I'm wrong, eat my dick up now.
Speaking of cock blocking, Miss Adverb's in the building. She says, "Hoe hunting, you need those ARs." First of all, listen.
Wow, they are not gonna let you ever live that down. You will never. No, never. You will never live it down.
But when Hobo Hoe Hunting, first of all, it's not called hunting. I can tell you're not skilled in the art. It's a trapper's game, okay? Because you don't hunt for hobo hoes, but you can trap them. A day old slice of pizza, half-eaten muffin, anything.
Promises that they can live there for a while till they get the
a
shit
cold
together.
taco, anything will, and then you just pull the string, the pox falls down on top of them, and they for a little while.
Or you put a picture of a dick, but it's actually cloth over a hole. They go, they fall in.
And then,
but Phenom Brown, I agree with you. Why sell to anyone of any age? Really. Of any age? Can you imagine the smell of those classrooms? White bodies laid down.
I think she means wild bodies just
laid down, away,
and all the blood
everywhere. Oh my God, it is heartbreaking, and it's not only heartbreaking. The thing is, I saw some of the hearings, and listening to the parent, being a parent, it just made me go, well, you know what? I'm blowing up a fucking gun corporation tomorrow. Like, if you're not going to listen to us while my child was fucking eviscerated, guess what's happening? I'm blowing all y'all shit up. And y'all going to have to put me in jail for the rest of my life.
It's hard to attack the gun place.
I think they'll be ready for you.
Hardest places to attack.
Shang, we know what you're going to do. No, absolutely no. But they wouldn't see it coming, because what I would do is I would drive up in a van that says white power, and they'd be like, come on in. And as soon as I came on in, I'd go, yeah, you fucked up now.
License plate is WHT PWR.
Yeah, we know that they're white. If you look, I'm not saying that because Pedro's a gun owner. So I'm not going to say that every person that's a gun owner is an irresponsible motherfucker. There's a responsible gun owner. And that's what I think Matthew McConaughey was really dope. He was trying to say, I'm not against guns. I got a gun myself. You know. But the bottom line is I learned
never ate a piece of meat I didn't shoot first.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm a responsible gun owner. And we need responsible gun owners. But some people aren't responsible when they've lost when they fucking cheese slipped off the cracker. So
and you guys, I have taken you guys fully over the past 2 years now through my entire, because my gun ownership essentially started 2 years ago, like in June of 2020. Yeah, I'm at the trap house. I don't step on the porch. As soon as you ring the doorbell. But so I've taken you guys along with me on my gun ownership journey. And one of the first things I said was like, you know, this was pretty easy. And I'm in California.
Hey, you know what? Quit bragging. It's not that easy.
I'm sorry. Without a violent history behind me, stalking me like a shadow.
Well, everybody didn't fuck up in their early days.
As a good citizen, it's easy. Did
you actually
as a law-abiding citizen?
You're a good law-abiding citizen. While you're trapping white hoes in your fucking house for 3 hours straight, what they trying to explain?
It's called catch and release, nigga. I let her live. I let her go.
Anybody, by the way, anybody black that fucks a white girl, my thing is that's called reparations.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah, so I don't ever get mad at that.
And I call them
black women hate when you say that though.
I call them nigga every time when I come. I'm like, nigga.
Wow.
Just to fully reverse it. That got weird.
But,
anyways,
that got really weird.
No, but like I tell you, it's like really, even in California where shit is, our gun laws are strict. It's pretty easy for me to get guns.
He got
and bullets. So there is systematically access is definitely an issue.
But you know what? Not for everybody, because when I went up to Redstone, I came in the door. They go, turn around.
Freeze, motherfucker.
You know what? No, get out now, Shane.
They were just talking in the shoulder. He's here. No, he's here right now. They're like.
And I was outside with money. I was like, I got money, motherfuckers, and they still didn't go for it. Bronda, I agree with you. The NRA and the gun sales don't care about people's lives, and they don't care people's lives. They only care about the almighty dollar. I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah.
But that, if you look at across the board pertaining to the NRA, and you got to look at Winchester, which is, by the way, one of the biggest sellers of gun makers, and they sell a shit ton of
bullets as well.
Right, bullets. You got to think how much their fucking stock went up over the pandemic. Over the pandemic, they went through the roof. The other thing is, if I'm a company that's already worth $2.9 billion, $2.9 billion, and that's with a fucking B, right?
Capital B.
And you're trying to get to that 3 billion mark, right? Do you really think you care about little kids that are down in Texas that happen to be Hispanic? Do you care about Black elderly people in Buffalo? Do you care about people in Milwaukee? Do you care about people? We can keep going on and on.
And you know what? You don't even have to racialize this shit. Like the fact that they were Latino, because the shooter was Latino in Uvalde as well. You know what I mean? The white kids have been shot. That's what Columbine was. That's what Parkland was. You know what I mean? Sandy Hook. There's plenty of white kids that have been killed by these weapons.
Well, no, it's the AR.
They just don't care.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, it seems like the AR is the most popular gun of crazy people.
You can get a lot of high-powered shots off really fast.
If you look at the mass shootings, other than Vegas, because that motherfucker had an aircraft carrier gun or some shit, he was going it down.
He had fully automatic weapons.
He had fully automatic weapons. He was going in hot. He was not fucking around, and he killed over 50 people. I forget the exact number in Vegas, but that motherfucker was absolutely premeditated, planned, and he had it all planned out because he had another hotel room filled with fucking ammo and guns right next door to the hotel he was shooting from. But the thing is, the AR is the most popular gun pertaining to mass shootings. If you look at each mass shooting, it has been the AR.
It's the weapon of choice.
AR. And the one dude that killed some people at a hospital, can't remember
that was in Tulsa.
Tulsa,
at the medical center.
He bought that and he got that shit like that.
3 hours, dog. He bought that AR-15 3 hours before he.
Well, I mean, like literally, like, hey, you know what? Think about killing somebody. You got a gun? Yeah, here it is. How long does it take you to drive over there? I don't know, about half hour, 45 minutes. Well, here, take a gun. You know what? Want something to eat before you go massacre? It's like we don't. America don't give a fuck. I was writing a joke about it, but some people I said something on the stage and I got a moan. I said that America is the DJ Khaled of mass shootings.
And another one.
And another one.
No, man. Like,
and people moan like, oh, but like, it's true.
It's like if a dude shows up and it's like, yeah, I need an AR-15 and like 300 to 500 bullets. And can we make it quick? I got a doctor's appointment. Like, so, you know what I mean? Somebody's like, well, why you need your AR for the doctor's appointment? Anyways, to me, that'd be like if you took the, like nobody in flight school with the like 9/11 terrorists, when they went, because they went to flight school like down in Florida and shit. Like nobody paid attention when they were like, no takeoff or landing. Just teach me the shit in the middle. How to steer.
How much gas could this?
How do I hit building?
I want to kill like, all building.
If a motherfucker said that to you, you'd be like,
but this is the facts about the NRA and this whole thing that happened in Texas. And I'm not gonna racialize it from that standpoint. But what I'm saying is, even with the people, what we're gonna talk about a little bit before later, but in Buffalo, if you look at the situation,
Buffalo,
they keep saying if there was a good guy with a gun, right? Especially if you talk about this police chief, Pete or Pedro. If you look at it, a good guy with a gun prevents a bad guy with a gun. That's what the right wing always fucking says. But the bottom line is, there was multiple good guys, according to themselves, I guess, good guys with guns. And there was a police chief and other people that didn't feel it was worth even having a radio to communicate with them, the good guys. He didn't even take his radio.
Right. Well, specifically in Buffalo, there was a good guy with a gun, a 55-year-old black man who was an armed security guard and did shoot back. He hit the shooter in Buffalo, but because the Buffalo shooter was armored, he was not affected, and he had superior weaponry, and was able to kill that good guy with the gun.
That is
there goes that theory. Suck that dick.
So if you like, for instance, there's a movie actually on it. A Bank of America in North Hollywood right. Two men
that changed the whole police game.
Two men, and I'm not kidding you. This is multiple police. Two men with body armor were taking out police. Plus, they had those. What was it? AJ-50. The
AK-47.
AK-47, but they had
that goes through cinder block, bro. It goes
armor-piercing bullet, right? So if two men with body armor and these ARs can take out, and there was literally 22 police officers that couldn't take these motherfuckers down. Maybe we should watch who we sell body armor to, flat out. Maybe we should be like, if you want to buy some body armor, you up to some other shit. And maybe we shouldn't sell armor-piercing bullets to motherfuckers that don't really need armor-piercing bullets. If you work at Kroger's, you shouldn't maybe have that. Also, you should be able to get an AR like the guy got
today.
Like they said you said in 3 hours. So if that means that could be like the crimes of passion. They said that most of the crimes of passion, the motherfucker got the gun like that day.
That's why California won't let you do that.
Right. But they'll get the gun that day and go, my wife cheated on me. The bitch got to die. Her man got to die. And the nigga the taxi driver who drove the nigga over to the house to fuck my wife, he got to die. In fact, fucking all taxis, they got to die. This dude, really, this is a real story. This dude killed his wife. He bought the gun that day. He killed and literally killed the man that cheated. He cheated with, killed the wife. Wait for it. Killed the wife's dad just because, and then killed the motherfucking taxi driver that drove her to the nigga's house. So, but if he wouldn't have got that gun that quick, he might have beat her up or did some shit. But he wouldn't have killed that many people.
Had some time to calm down, maybe.
Calm down, go, you know what? Fuck this bitch. I'm gonna go and buy me a hooker or do something to offset his anger.
I mean, maybe we should be, just investigating people's domestic life in some way. You know what I mean? Like, no, everything good at home.
Oh, this is another thing.
Talk to their home. Talk to the wife.
From the 18-year-olds. Aside from the 18-year-olds, more information for y'all to digest. Most of the people that were more like a little bit older white men, and it was white men because 90% of the mass shooters are white men. 90%. I thought it was 93%. I went and double checked it. It's 90%. So did you know that this is a fact? And then people are like, no, that's not true. You're fucking lying. Like you said, most of those men had either domestic abuse on their record or some kind of outburst of violence towards other people. Or they had, if you check their Facebooks or their social media, something pertaining to red flags of racism, flat out. Like they were like the kid that shot down and they were in the church in Charlottesville. No, it wasn't Charlottesville.
It's not Charlottesville.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That guy, if you look at his Facebook, there was all this stuff about white supremacy. And I
think that's Charleston.
It was Charleston. Somebody on the feed help me out here. But I know that they found he had a whole bunch of racist diatribes in his social media. The kid in Buffalo, Dylan Roof, the kid in Buffalo had a whole bunch of diatribes of racist, very, very racist, like crazy, like white nationalist replacement theory shit. In the Miami shooting at that nightclub, the guy had all this like homophobic like kill gay people stuff. So when he went to this place, they had an eye, but we don't have red flag laws in a lot of places. They couldn't even go in and check his shit to maybe like, yo, maybe we shouldn't sell this motherfucker an AR. Then when he went in the club, even if there was just, it was a mix of gay and just heterosexual. It was just everybody, but it was primarily a gay club. He specifically went there. If they'd have caught this motherfuckers and said, wait a minute, this motherfucker talking about killing gay people on the fucking Facebook, and then they took his Facebook down, but they could still see that this motherfucker was crazy. You could have stopped him. I believe the same shit with Buffalo, and I believe the same shit with this guy in Uvalde, Texas. If they'd have saw this kid was trouble, because they had already said he had 2 incidents of being troubled, they could have maybe not sold that shit to him. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The end of the day is, like, if Pedro was a fucking nutty buddy before he told me, hey, I'm going to get a gun, I'd be like, nigga, hey, let's go get something to eat. Talk first. Fuck you doing? Like, if you was I felt you would, like with me, I could tell with me. I'd be like, yeah, maybe I should slow down. But then when we went to the guns place, I'm thinking, these niggas is cool. I'm like, they gonna let me slide. I'm fucking Shang. I really thought, man, they gonna let me slide. But no, I don't think you.
And you gotta know yourself too, because like when I finally took possession of my first weapon, Gertrude is her name.
Right.
I got nervous, man. I got a little scared.
Really?
Yeah, because it wasn't like finally. You know, it was like oh shit.
See, that's how I thought. I thought if once I get it.
Yes. And her name is Gertrude. No.
But Pedro, the thing.
But no, I got scared because I was like, yo.
Oh shit, I got something like life and death.
Yeah, I've brought a weapon of destruction that can take my life and any other human's life, an animal. I can kill something with this, and it's different than a knife. It's like from far away. You know what I mean? Like I can like cause mass destruction with this. This is something serious.
But you did get the thing that I thought was good. What you did, and everybody in the feed, I'm on co-sign for him, even though I think that he really does want to hit people with his car. Now that's different. That's not the same. He did go get training. He did actually look into training. We talked to the brother that owns Redstone Firearms,
and I'm going to continue to train. You know,
and so it would be like the first time I went shooting with him. I've already shot a handgun multiple times, so I was used to that. I wasn't used to shooting a shotgun. I wasn't used to shooting guns because I didn't prep my shoulder right. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Because when and even Pedro, when he shot, he went, oh.
that was my first time shooting one too.
And when I'm saying this, the wild shit. When you see the targets that they have at shooting ranges, Pedro shot it, and I bullshit you not. It's like a pretty sizable thing. The whole thing, the leg of the stand just went
like I broke,
was obliterated.
The
target stand went.
Around it, like
So you got to think about. If you give a kid that's 18 years old, and they said, well, it's video games. They were trying to say, Pedro, it was video games. That's some of the kids are like that. I'm going to tell you something. My kids play video games. Well, Xavier, he might end up, I'm not going to watch him. That motherfucker is a little violent. Something wrong with him.
Bells on that nigga shit. Make sure we can reset it.
Clink, 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 clink. Oh, shit. But, I mean, I know a lot of, like, all of Cameron's friends, all of them play video games. They played one where it's literally like a first thing shooter.
Yeah.
I don't play those. I like race car games.
Modern Warfare?
Because I don't drive real fast in real life, so on the game I can go crazy. Now, he does it in real life. Pedro drives like he's in like
baby driver, dog.
I've been in the car with him, and he's going on 2 wheels to get around an old lady in a shopping cart. Then he
Nobody had to slow down. She didn't. I didn't.
No,
it was all good.
Put it this way: it was a 4-hour ride. We got there in 1 hour and 20 minutes. No, I just want to. I just feel like even, and I understand the cops being scared. We're gonna go back to the thing. We're gonna get off this one, but I understand the cops being scared. But at least if you made a mistake, or you say, like he said, "Oh, I didn't know," accountability. There's got to be a certain amount of accountability for these fucking cops that didn't go in. And if they would have went in maybe a little bit sooner, I'm not saying it would have saved every kid. There's no fucking way they could have saved every kid, because this dude was busting off. He was fucking He was psychotic on some other level shit. He was on some Hannibal Lecter crazy level shit. But I think they could have saved more kids. Period.
And even saved numerous kids from the psychological trauma. Because even the survivors, like the ones in the room,
they're fucked up.
Bro, they had to lay there and play dead for like 70 minutes. Smear some of your best friend's blood on you right quick. And then lay there for over an hour. So he wouldn't. Like, do you know what kind of trauma that is? Like, man, I can't even begin. So we do need to push from this one, but our motherfuckers say what today? We started off and we should end with the reminder that Pete Arredondo is the hugest piece of shit, whole fuckhead ass motherfucker. Because listen, it's one thing to be bad at your job, but the ducking and dodging, the invisibility, the lack of accountability, and now the shit he said in his only interview that he didn't even think he was in charge. He doesn't believe he was in charge. Nigga, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. Right. Say what?
And he should be fired. Uvalde.
Well, he's not. He's moved on to another position. Now he's on the city council.
It's like, yo, get the. You know what? In Texas, you shouldn't have him be anywhere. So, bottom line is, I want to let y'all know something. Flat out, this is what we're dealing with in a world from the top down to the bottom of unaccountability across the board. In relationships with women and men and across the board, but everybody goes, well, it wasn't me. I wasn't.
And that takes us to the
right.
This
is where I disagree with you.
Well, the lack of accountability theme song is the great Shaggy classic. It wasn't me on the counter. Today, Biden gave a speech here in Los Angeles at the Port of Los Angeles. And addressed economic issues. And give me a second to get through this because I don't know if you actually will disagree with me at the end of this, Shang. But
okay,
what I'm gonna say is that
give it a shot.
He blamed Russia. He blamed the feds, the Federal Reserve. He blamed oil companies for being greedy, and he blamed Republicans for their lack of action on policy. None of that is going to help his administration or any other Democrat in this midterm election. The fucked up part is he's right. Biden was right. A lot of the inflation, all of this stuff, it's out of his control, right? Like these weren't things. Now, the baby milk, the baby formula shortage, he should have seen coming, and they weren't smart about that. And also, I think they were stupid, to be honest, to try and downplay inflation rather than maybe being fully prepared for the worst case scenario, which they don't seem to be. But go ahead.
All right, no, I'm saying number one, Biden was right. But
he's right. I said that he's right.
The reason I disagree with a lot of people saying, "Well, Biden, what do you?" I used to do a joke about Obama because they felt Obama should have fixed everything. And the joke was, it's like, the nigga's not a wizard. What do you want him to do? Pull a wand out his ass and wave it and everything's good? Biden's not the same. Biden came into a shitty situation because of the shit that Trump did. And you got to think that a lot of the relationships that Trump burnt to the ground, he had to rebuild. It's going to take longer than a year to rebuild that. Also, the oil companies are gouging us because they know we're in a position, because they can always point the finger to Ukraine, which is true. They can which is true.
The war in Ukraine was
the war in Ukraine. So people can blame Biden. Now, I blame Biden for his fuddy-duddiness and his befuddleness. I think they did fuck up on the baby formula thing. But also, you got to think that there was other really huge things he had to address right off the bat when he came in. If you look at COVID vaccines, that Trump slowed down on purpose because he wanted to act like it didn't exist. This is a fact. He was saying it didn't exist, and his cronies and those dirty crows that are sitting up on the fucking wire, they were at fault too because they were saying the same shit. So Biden came in with insurmountable shit that you couldn't address. So he had to go with everything. And then you got a fucking war that affects grain. So food is going to go
like
up.
a huge percentage of the
world's
grain.
And so that's like if you have a shitty house, if I come up to Pedro's house and he's gone on vacation for 3 weeks, and I literally open my asshole and shit on the floor,
kick
all
holes
over
in the wall,
and kick holes in the wall, and you come home, you ain't gonna be able to fix that shit in a day. First off, you need to kick me down the steps for taking a shit on the floor right then and give me help.
No, we fighting.
We fight. You got to give me help because something's wrong with me.
Just Persian rug from Persia.
Yeah, what the fuck you doing? Secondly, Biden, if you look at the way Biden's going about it, you still got a Republican Congress that anything Biden does, and he did the same thing with Obama. They did the same. The Republicans did the same thing with Obama. The motherfuckers actually are still trying to block shit that makes common sense. So if you have all of these elements,
right?
Because I was on a radio show I did, and they were talking about it earlier, and they were like, "Well, it got to be Biden's fault." No, you have to take things into account. Context matters, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, and it's not his fault. None
he
of
has
these
to try to address
fault.
it. You got to try to address it.
But he will take the blame.
He will absolutely.
And that's part of being a president, right? Like that's what it is. It's like no matter what's going on, you either get the credit or take the blame. It's like Trumpty Dumpty took credit for a lot of Obama's work because it came into fruition. It really started to blossom at the beginning of Trumpty Dumpty's administration. So it looked like the economy was doing well, and that was all because of Obama. That being said, even though Trumpty Dumpty, left Biden's house with a bunch of shit on the walls, literally, if you went to the Capitol on January 6th, it's Biden's going to get blamed. The responsibility is the cleanup.
Well, the cleanup
it falls on him.
The Democrats will get some blame. I agree with you 1,000%. But
they're going to get all the blame. And all I'm saying is, like, right or wrong, it doesn't even matter. It's just like strategy wise, competition wise, in terms of these upcoming elections, this is all a very, very bad look. Like, even his finger pointing won't ring. Like, people, bro, I paid $7.45 per gallon the other day for gasoline. There are people, and when they talk about gas has hit $5, I'm like, where? Please send some to Los Angeles, please.
Right down the street from us, where we both live at, right down the street from us, there's one that's tipping on 8, like tipping towards. Yeah. It's tipping towards. It's Shell, and by the way, fuck Shell, because I went right down the street to Chevron. That is literally right down the street, like not Fairfax, La Cienega and Pico, and the shit was 5 something. Because I don't get the fancy gas. He got a fancy car. His car is very fancy. My car, you know what I put in my car? Oat milk. And my car runs on oat milk. So
your car runs on American blood and thunder, bro.
That's what see.
Fucking Mopar.
You know what's fucked up? I pulled up to the joint yesterday, and it's fucked up when you drive a car with somebody, you get out and somebody goes, yeah, that makes sense. What the fuck does that mean?
Queen B, please send as many gallons as you can. You getting it for $4.29, girl.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
I'll pay you $5.15, and you'll make a little something.
His car. That's a lot.
I have to put the 91 in my shit, or it literally won't fuck around. So, gas is. But in these places where, I mean, even in where Queen B is $4.29, I'm sure they're used to more like $3.50 in terms of, you know what I mean? So like that $4.29, that $5 makes a difference everywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, in your life, I mean, it's like,
and so like, but nobody's gonna be like, "Damn you, Saudi Arabia."
Like, that's why they're making that's why Biden is trying to, even though Saudi Arabia is a piece of shit and murderous cunts.
He's about to be on bended knee today.
He's gonna be like, hey man, I didn't mean to talk about shit about the little cloth shit y'all wear. Okay.
He's really gonna be like, yo, I was tripping about that fucking
man.
I was
You know, I was
tripping about that reporter that you beheaded and tortured.
beheaded. Anytime
no
you see a
biggie,
person do
dog.
this, like, yo, man, you know, I've been going through some
I
shit.
don't even, I've been, because we can't do that to our reporters. So
I got white hoes that won't leave my couch, man. Shit
I
is.
have my wife on my, my girls.
Yeah, shit getting crazy. So I mean, the bottom line is the gas prices that are as high as they are, and it's not just that food. If you look at food, the cost of living in New York City, the average apartment's $4,000. But the cost of living is going up, and I do blame, and I agree with Biden. I do blame the landlords that are gouging the fucking tenants. I do blame the gas companies that know that even though it's a certain amount of barrel, they're fucking doing that on purpose. They're like, yo, let's make $1 trillion this year off the backs of these motherfuckers. When it comes to food, unless you want to get to a lot of these food deserts that are out there, and that's only mostly in the Black community, try to make food deserts with subpar food and shit like that. We have no choice because you just said it right. The bulk of the grain that comes from the Ukraine and areas like that, and Turkey, which is going to be under siege,
and Russia too,
we're ass out. So I mean, I understand inflation going up, but the bottom line is, I don't see how even though he's going to take the blame, I think in this situation, because we've come through an extreme fucking past 6 years, you can't really blame Biden for everything. And you can point the finger at fucking Republicans. Absolutely can point the finger. Some of the fuck shit they done done. Yeah. And if you're a Democrat, you have to see that.
I mean, facts wise, yes, but logistically, it's not going to help. That So the only reason I say he's finger point is just because it won't, like, nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's not Biden's fault, it's the rights. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's still falling squarely on him. So he needs to be talking about actual solutions that are going to happen fast. And he might not have any.
What would you do, Pedro?
I'm gonna stay black and die and drink beer.
No, hold up, man. No, I like, if you were in that situation.
Well, like I said, I don't think part of
I know what I would do.
Well, him being in office was the adults being back, right? So, I don't know how innocent it was, but they did downplay the possibility of inflation rising and lasting longer, right? So, like, they were like, oh, I don't think that's gonna happen. It's like, well, maybe you should understand that it could and have like a serious plan for it, like that kicks in the second, this second right now. Because I mean, part of this job is like, you plan for the best, but you got to be prepared for the worst, and we're sort of in the worst of it right now, and this administration is seemingly unprepared for it. But while also being correct that no, not all of these things are in his hands or on his administration. They're not based on decisions he made.
Exactly.
But
exactly. Fuck
but
that.
you have to be. But
you got to be ready for it. And that's why I have car insurance.
We're not seeing the sort of nimble, swift moves to counteract these obstacles in our these economic obstacles, and people are feeling it. And they don't have patience for it,
But people are feeling it. But I think that because the other stuff that's going on, and we're going to have it, it's going to equal off. Maya Baker says property owners, landlords, oil companies are all cashing in on basic needs, creating a greater wage gap and increasing poverty levels and homelessness. But that's what the top 1% want, to get a little bit further away from the people that are edging up on them. So I think that's it. And number two, Melvin, I am not bullshitting. I just did Texas 3 times this year. And we definitely will chop it up when I come down that way. But I have done shows down there in Austin. I did shows in Dallas, Austin, and a couple other places. So I'll be back there for sure. I'm trying to make sure that me and Pedro take the brand everywhere we can. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, man. So we're going to keep it pushing. But
what do you think of this before we push on this? Got 2 things I want to ask you about. It says bring back stimulus money to offset the ridiculous gas and food prices. That's a thought, but I doubt it. No complaints on gas shortages. Wow. They're just raising it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we weren't getting a large part of our oil supply from Russia personally, as a nation. So no, it's none of that. It's really just a bit of supply and demand, and the oil companies can do it now because
What you gonna do?
a certain supplier is being knocked out of the game, which is gonna cut into the
Biden don't like us talking about that. He's
surplus.
mad at Pedro. He's like, "Come on, Pedro, give me a break." Malarkey.
Yeah. So we'll keep it pushing, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go over a little bit.
We'll see where we go. But as we do it, we're gonna do a little something like a diddy.
Hey, hey, hey. It's your boy Black Pedro popping in, hey, 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 with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
Skirt. It's your boy Black Pedro with another popping to let you know what's popping, man. I'm gonna tell you what's popping right now.
Wow. I'm sorry. That was weird.
So I'm gonna tell you what's popping. Besides the bullets that killed 10 innocent black people in Buffalo, New York, there's also some bullshit still popping off there. To the tune of almost $3 million. Online, $2.9 million plus have been raised as a relief fund for the families of the victims of the Buffalo shooting, right? Like,
yeah.
Why do these people need money? Well, they have to take time off now from work to bury family members, to grieve, to work on their mental health. Maybe they lost a breadwinner in their family, maybe the only breadwinner in their family. So that being said, what we're looking at now is two organizations. One is called the Compassion Fund.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Tops Market itself, the name of the supermarket, the brand of the supermarket that was shot up, the location itself, Tops Supermarket, are, for some reason, unbeknownst to any of us really, withholding the funds and unable to distribute them right now.
That is so much bullshit.
And are, claiming that it could take months all the way up to like December to start getting money out to these families and these survivors of the victims. And yeah, it's my popping today. Like Shang said, I just want to call that out as some motherfucking bullshit. As some piece of shit, donkey, ho fuck, butt nugget, goddamn Gorillasaurus Rex ass fuck shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, come on, man. These people are gonna have a hard time. They already have emotionally fucked up, and now they're fucked up financially too. And you're right. You're right. Show me the money.
I mean, listen. You're not going to pass legislation to help stop the next one. You're not going to fund mental health programs or systems to help guide and keep people away from these situations. You're not doing anything to end racism or any form of crackerism at all.
Crackerism?
Let's make up words today, bro.
Yeah.
So that being said, the very least you could do is give people the money that other people have given to them. This is why, like, I can't, like, restaurants that do tips on checks, I would never fucking work at that place, right? Like,
why?
Because a guest gave me money. They didn't give you money. So this money ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't know why you holding it and then putting it on my check. Okay. Let me deal with the tax man myself. But that ain't your money. The guest that I served left this tip money for me. The whole rest of the bill goes to the rest. That's the restaurant's money. The restaurant don't get tips. I do. So, and that's for going through some bullshit, dealing with these guests. So these people have been through some bullshit in all of these locations. But specifically when we're talking about Buffalo in its blackest neighborhood, having black citizens being hunted down specifically because they're black, and there's no qualms about that. There's no questions about that right now. All right. So, this is immediate reparations, right? Like direct reparations that are intended and targeted for this group of people. So yeah, we need to get on the compassion fund. Get on their ass. Yeah. And if you go to, I don't care how you feel about him, but Sean King, the activist, has this info on his page. But get on the compassion fund, and we need to get at Tops Market themselves, because what they lose, some marshmallows off those shelves or some shit, a couple of baked chickens or some shit, but people have lost lives, and
it's
unfortunately, sometimes, much like the U.S. Olympic gymnast women who are fighting, sometimes the only reparations our system offers in the form of justice is monetarily, there's no way that this shooter gets off or anything like that, but also these people need to be paid. So this is some bullshit.
But you
it
know
could have been a
cool.
motherfucker say what?
Did you see that? Chappelle donated the ticket sales from his show to Buffalo families. Dope.
But let's make sure he gets there, right? Because a lot of people are donating money, but as we see now, that some of that, so the delivery and distribution of those funds are being delayed. So,
I'm hoping that
we got to keep our eye on that.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're right, but the bottom line is, everything is caught up in red tape, and this is one of those situations where you hear people say they fast track things.
Yeah,
let's fast track it, and they fast track companies to get their money. They fast track companies to get subsidiaries. So why not fast track the money for these fucking families? You cunts. And you know what? I already said I'm gonna burn down a fucking gun company. Guess what? Tops, listen to me. If you don't get that money to these fucking people,
rotisserie to your whole store.
Guess what's gonna happen? Charcoal briquettes. You won't be just selling them, you'll be them. I'll burn your fucking store down. Get them the fucking money. Show me the money. Show me the money, man.
That's what it is, bro. Shane, get us up out of here, man.
All right, gotta let y'all know first before I jump into this. And if y'all saw the shit, you'll know what I'm talking about. But first off, let's start off with this. Make sure you follow at what's the name again?
Black Pedro.
Oh shit, that's it. And make sure you follow at Comedian Shang. And make sure you follow at Kuchadamas's Mama's a Hoe. That's a new Instagram I created, and I wanted to make sure that y'all follow that. It's at Kuchadamas's Mama is a Hoe. Make sure you follow that. Yeah, wow, that happened. That got out of line. And he's like, "What you say? Oh, you didn't. No, you didn't."
Watch out.
Okay. Also, make sure that you check us out and follow us on the YouTube. If you follow us on the YouTube, you're a better person. You're a better man. You're a better woman. Put it this way: all your relationships will work. But when you do it, make sure that you go do this. Ring the bell, goddammit. Give us some. And do that shit, all right? That's what I'm going to make sure y'all know that. Thank you so much for following us. Also, before I get into this last thing, I want to let you know, me and Pedro will be at a club that is very famous in the Los Angeles area. World famous! We're going to be at the Hollywood Laugh Factory. That is Wednesday, June 15th at 7:30. The show's at 7:30. Make sure you tell your friends to come up to the show. Make sure you get everybody to come out to the show. Now, if you want to get on our free guest list, inbox at Black Pedro or inbox at Comedian Shang, and we'll get you on the guest list. You can bring as many people as you want, but you got to make sure you give me the names, include your email, because that way we'll send you a confirmation that you are coming to the show. That aside, I just want to say I watched the January 6th shit, and oh my God, brother. Overhand rights all day, motherfuckers. Hey, oh shit, Pedro disappeared. All right, now check this out. I watched the fucking the January 6th committee went hard in the paint. I thought that they did a great job. I thought to start off, they was bringing the business. Was a lot of like head, body, head, body, head, and I could tell that it was just. I know Trump is just eating himself alive right now. I know Trump is just like, oh my God. Every time they showed footage from the fucking these cunts, these hillbilly cunts attacking people at the Capitol, I know Trump was like, oh, I shit on myself. Oh no, he shit on myself. You know he was shitting on himself every single time. Every time, and she's a right-wing motherfucker. She is a Republican to her fucking core. And you if you watch her, she's a Republican, flat out. She didn't even want to sit next to this black man.
I don't know. She was kind of sexy last night.
Yeah, I want to fuck her. Every time she would say some shit, Trump was like, oh, no. I mean, God damn, they did a good job. I thought they did a great job on it. The way they showed the footage, the way they showed the stuff. There's no question in my mind that they're going to go harder in the paint with each one. And they actually, this is the best part. I want to ask you, and then I want you to jump in.
Yeah.
One of the best parts is they showed his daughter, a.k.a. Queen of the damn vampire hoe. Because that bitch looked like she a vampire. That's why she had to do it over, like they had to do it with a camera.
That was at 3 a.m.
Yeah, they was not letting her out. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, that bitch and her and Kushner both, they look like vampires.
When they wake up, the first thing you hear is,
exactly.
It's the coffin opening.
Man, but a bottom line is, every time he said, Trump was like, you got me. Oh, shit, I'm for the streets. They gave him the business. I thought it was good. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to bring more, because if you're a normal, rational human being, Cheney brought the heat. I don't care. Out of everybody, I'm not saying that the brother didn't bring the heat. Cheney brought the heat.
Benny Thompson.
Benny.
It was Benny and the Jets.
Benny. Now, I'm going to see what you think, but I personally was watching. I know that his sphincter was going, oh, good, my butthole. Oh, I hope they don't rape me too much in prison. I'm telling you. No
Vaseline.
Right like,
Edward Jaworski, welcome to the building. So listen, man, I did a little quickie solo dro solo yesterday after the hearing, this inaugural episode, this pilot episode, I should call it. Yeah, it's gonna be a 7-part series, for real. But so. I thought they really did do a great job. Benny Thompson is on CNN right now with Aaron Burnett. But first of all, you got this rural black man from Mississippi.
Yeah, he's
born, raised in the same town he live in right now. Representing the heartland of America.
Right.
Teamed up with his vice chair, like you said, conservative Republican dynasty princess, Liz Cheney. So Benny Thompson, Liz Cheney.
Her father shot motherfuckers in the face
and walked.
Ate
dinner at home that night.
Yeah, man, that was crazy when I shot a guy in the. Hey, pass the meatloaf. I mean, it was like, come on, man.
I can taste his face in this duck.
Man, you should have seen the way it went. Blow! It was crazy. Hey, who wants some more lemonade, kids?
Man. But but I thought they did a fantastic job of setting the precedent that Trump knew. A whole bunch, like his daughter's testimony was part of the suite of testimony to establish
her husband.
He knew. Yeah, right. So Trump's son-in-law as well, Bill Barr, his secretary or attorney general at the time. So they used all these, administration voices, right? Not like opposition voices, but people that were everything from working for him to related to him, telling America that Trump knew that he didn't win. Like we told everybody told him he did not win. So that was a precedent they set. And then, and you missed this yesterday. I think the biggest thing they did yesterday was having both a blonde-haired white woman,
say that. Yeah,
a blonde-haired white woman and a British man.
Yeah,
stating the facts of what happened, and white woman, gotta believe her. because she's
Blonde?
white and blonde. And then British man, everything just sounds better with the accent.
Right. And
Good
then the
God,
Proud
Americans,
Boys,
what
the
have
Proud
happened to you?
Boys ran over and shoved their fist up my cameraman's ass.
Yeah, I mean, he was embedded with them. So, but I think they aesthetically, visually, and even, you know, audibly, like with the accents and everything, like it was the face, at least the initial face of this hearing that we needed to see. Not the big nigga cop, not the Spanish cop behind them. We've heard their stories and they're all so important. But to tell this story, we need to understand how white on white this was.
And this
How
white lady,
really white on white
this
this
white
was.
lady got fucked up.
Knocked unconscious and all that
I think
shit.
my head hit the steps while they were near me.
After her chin hit the railing,
and one of the guys kneed me in the pussy. I mean,
and then she got up and kept fighting eventually.
and she kept fighting, but she couldn't stop these motherfuckers. The bottom line is, I thought Benny was like this, like, it's not yeah, Trump, let's go.
And then they did a good job also of it just being Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney who popped it off. So now you have this whole other slew of motherfuckers who are still waiting to get at this hearing. You know what I mean? And I think everybody's gonna have a chance to kind of shine and do their part. Because they're going to break it down from, you know, what Trump knew to what he did after the election, trying to pressure people, to, you know, what he did organizationally to encourage people to come, and then the words he said to actually, and then his lack of action once people were there. I mean, they even had the man on blast talking about, maybe Mike Pence needs to be hanged. Maybe the people have a good idea. So they're gonna be laying out a whole bunch of stuff here.
Not only that, they didn't just go after Trump. She did say, and so did Benny. They were like, and your administration was at fault too, bitches. It wasn't just motherfucking Trump. It was you too. Y'all was throwing up insurrection signs the whole time, cuz. Y'all was absolutely. So I love the fact
how
Benny
it was financed. Yes, Pam.
Yeah, Benny was giving him the business. I think that Trump, if he don't, and this was a criminal. I felt like, and I read a thing, and then I watched. I wasn't on CNN. It was on MSNBC. They said they think they're setting him up for criminal, indictment.
I mean, they're conducting it as if it is that. I mean, ultimately, you would think they're going through all this to give a criminal recommendation to the DOJ, to Merrick Garland,
right?
But it's ultimately not that. I think ultimately, you know, the criminality aspect of this is really just all about making sure that he is never able to, Donald Trumpty Dumpty is never ever able to even run for office again, let alone hold it. So ultimately, all of that is the ultimate goal of this, is to keep this man out of office. And this is the way this is their only path to go about it. Because otherwise, it looks like the motherfucker.
I think they got to pull an Oprah with all of these fucking people. I mean, if you look on your seat, you get an indictment. You get an indictment. You get an indictment. All of you insurrectionists get an indictment. They all need to get an indictment, because a lot of those motherfuckers, and they showed all of them. What Coach let them touchy feely. All of them, they all need to be accountable for the fuck boy shit they did, and I'm hoping that they all burn in hell.
And I hope they burn in hell.
You know, I hope so. But I mean, you know what?
Ultimately,
he's gotten away with so much shit. He's gotten away with so much shit.
After all of this, though, we'll all be looking at Merrick Garland,
and Merrick Garland. If that motherfucker, let me tell you something.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
If y'all don't put that motherfucker in jail.
Yes! You motherfucker. Next one.
That's shot me. That's what I'm saying. So I want to make sure that y'all knew that, and we're both on the same page. I personally was sitting there going, good production. Way to get the videos in there.
There was no glitches or hitches either.
Nah, these motherfuckers is like, and this is where the cop got stabbed in the asshole. Let's watch it.
And there's somebody in the booth, cue the nigger footage.
Yes.
They're like,
Yes.
cue the crackers.
And honestly, before we get up out of here, there's two people. One, I never said the shit he said, which I thought was funny, about the woman that got shot in the chest, and she said, "He's my hero."
Listen, Lieutenant
is-
Michael Byrd
Yes,
is the man of the century
but aside
for
from
shooting Ashley Babbitt
other
in the
than that
neck.
shit, and he was, in fact, Pedro called Michael Byrd to come over to his house while he was being held hostage by a white woman.
I was like,
Michael
bro,
Byrd, I need you. Get out of the house, ma'am.
I put a bird sign in the air.
Get out of the house, ma'am. I need you to get out of the house. But I just gotta get myself together. I'm going to warn you one more time, and then to the chest. The bottom line is, if it wasn't for Mike Pence, you fucking bitch that's still siding with Trump. If it wasn't for that black cop, don't know his name right now, I'll make sure that I will get a poster of his fucking name.
It's two, Eugene Goodman and Michael Byrd.
My Eugene Goodman. If he wouldn't have led those motherfuckers up the steps and another direction,
here, crackers,
this way. And he kept showing them and said, "It's a black man fucking a white girl. Ah, get him! If he wouldn't have did that, Mike Pence would have been. They would have got him. They would have got Mike Pence, and would have got Nancy Pelosi. It'd have been a wrap. So I'm telling you right now, I'm looking forward to this shit right now. And Coochie Damas, you say my mom's lips. Wow. Before we get up out of here, so my mama's lips so big, chapstick had to make it spray. Okay, yeah, thanks for using that joke from Comic View 1996.
I think that's from Uptown Comedy Club around 90, 91.
91. I think it's a good joke, man. It worked then and it worked now.
Shit'll work tomorrow.
Yeah, and it'll work tomorrow. And Coochie Damas, you know what else will work? Your mama's lips on my dick.
Yeah.
Since we go,
Dr.
that's how we
Landing.
going out on the Friday.
Dr. Landing.
That's how we go out on a Friday, bitches.
Put that in your weekend milk, y'all.
Yeah. So
Speaking of the weekend, have a good one. We'll be back here
have a good
Monday,
one.
3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Is it
y'all.
Monday, 3 p.m.?
Monday, 3 p.m.
Is it-
Pacific
are
Standard
you sure?
Time.
Are you sure?
As long as America doesn't get shot up.
As long as everything doesn't go to shit. Again, before we go, next week. All right, Hollywood, California, Savage AF live at the Laugh Factory Comedy Club in Hollywood, California, 6:15, 7:30. Make sure you tell your friends to come out. Make sure you inbox me or Black Pedro at Black Pedro or at Comedian Shang if you want to get on the guest list. For only our fans get on the guest list. All you other motherfuckers gotta pay. But for us, you get in free. And don't act like I didn't tell you.
Let's go, y'all.
All right.
Savage AF, have a good weekend. Keep your finger out
Have a
your
good
nose.
weekend. We out.
Watch it.